here with Jack Grisham of TSOL, and you guys are getting ready to celebrate your 40th anniversary here. So I do want to thank you very much for being here with me today. So now, while a lot of people know you for TSOL, what a lot of people don't know you about is that you are also an author, a screenwriter, and an actor. So what else have you been up to lately?
Don't forget director. Don't forget
and director, that's right, too.
That's it.
So tell me a little bit about your movie there.
Well, it's interesting. Well, first, just to go back, the TSOL thing. This is we're actually getting ready to celebrate the 40th anniversary of our first two records, and then this year's the 40th anniversary of the band. So our first demo came out in 1980, which is crazy, and I sound like I'm straight out of England. Just it's like I'm a kid. Listen, those were the bands I listened to. English bands. It's almost like the 60s again, but he wanted to be like the Beatles or something. So anyway, I started making movies when I was a kid, and then I just blew it off. Everything. When I got involved in punk rock, I stopped doing everything. Like those, when the kids say, hey, you pick up drugs, you're going to drop out of life. It's like, fuck yeah, I am. So just kind of let everything go to shit for a while. And then, and then I ended up just, I was at a film festival one time watching these films. I thought, I can make a film. So I just decided to go home and make a film.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the movie right now that you did is for the Newport Film Festival. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the one. I just did a film. It's called 288, and it's about child abuse. It's like the long-term effects of sexual abuse on kids, and then basically an interview with a perpetrator who just shamelessly does not defend his actions in any way. Just, and it's all actors. It's actors. These aren't real people. These are actors playing a part, but it's pretty gnarly because the way I went about getting their performances from them, everything was ad-libbed. So nothing was scripted. So what I did is I asked them questions relating to other issues and then removed the answers or removed the question and just took their answers and placed their answers in the film where I needed them. So they're giving me honest answers, but the answers they're giving me is about something else, not the questions I'm asking them. It's yeah. So if I say to you, and all of this came, was pretty trippy. Everyone I know says nobody's really done that before, so this is like a first for that. But I was screwing around on social media one day. And I typed some little post saying I can't live without my coffee, right? So then, a couple hundred people are saying, me too, I'm a total dick without it, blah, 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 So then I was kind of bored, and I went back and I removed the original post and put on a different post and just left all their original answers. So they're basically saying, whatever the hell it is, I can't... I can't live without sucking a big old donkey dick in the morning or whatever the hell. That was the new post I put on. And then here are these guys going, I can't live without it. I'm a real dick unless I have two. Just like, so that's kind of what gave me the idea for doing this. I thought, oh shit, man, I'm going to make a movie doing that. So because I hate bad acting.
Nice.
And so, I wanted real responses. I didn't want somebody reading lines. So I just decided that I would write the lines around their response, basically.
It would be interesting to see that in that sense there. So, now speaking of abuse there, I know you detail a lot about that in your first book there, American Demon. Can you tell, or I'm actually in the middle of reading it right now, but can you tell people out there who aren't familiar with the book a little bit what it's about?
Yeah, and you're still reading it, you're still talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Kids are kids, man. It just, I grew up differently. I guess that's the case. I remember, I was asking my mom one time, I'm still trying to place the age because it's still probably 11 or 12, and I ran off with a carny worker. I ran off with a carnival worker, and I was missing.
I remember that. Yeah, you tell the Mexican guy. Yeah, and you're trying to pretend that he was your handler for the day.
Right. And I was missing for a couple of weeks. So at 11 or 12, now I got kids. You know what I mean? My kids are older now, but I got kids. And I remember thinking about it. So I hit up my mom one day and I said, hey, do you remember when I ran off with that carny? I go, and she goes, yeah. I go, what was that? About 11 or 12? She goes, yeah, about that. I go, I was gone for 2 weeks, Mom. I go, why didn't you guys call the cops? I go, why didn't you call the cops? She goes, well, we knew you'd be back. It's like, 11 years old, 12 years old, run off with a carnival worker, a young boy running off with some carnival worker, and just know like, hey, well, you're just different. We knew you'd be back when you come back. So anyway, whatever. I don't hold it against her.
One thing that I think is interesting too is you have a very interesting story about how you came to being sober. Would you mind sharing that story?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out which part of it's interesting. It's not all interesting.
Yeah, well, your time down in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And what led you ultimately to becoming sober?
Well, she's dead. My first wife, the first woman I married, we got married down in Mexico, and she wasn't really of legal age to be married up here, and we ran off and we got married down in Mexico and basically got home and I said, look, I'll stop, I'm going to stop getting loaded if we'll stop together. She went into a rehab and there was restraining orders on me. I wasn't even supposed to be around her. And, and I said, I'll just do it on my own. And so she went into rehab. I stayed on my own, and about 2 weeks into it, she left rehab, ran away. And I just said, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. And, she ultimately died from a drug overdose. So it's kind of a rough, a rough start. But I never look back. 31 years later, I'm still clean. So it's all right.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now, I heard that there's a chance that your first book is going to be turned into a movie. Is that still on the table there?
Yeah, they always talk. For me, it's like I got to be doing shit. Like I got to be doing stuff. If you looked at my desktop, you just say, fucking no way you can just be doing all this crap, because, there's tons of books on here that I'm working on, and, a couple of scripts for a movie. It's like, I have to keep working. It's not that I love to keep working. I have to keep working. It's like, the old mental hospitals when they, have them weaving baskets or blankets or something. It's like, you got to put these people to work, man. They just sit around just spacing out. So anyway, I'm always working. And so then there's been a lot of talk for doing an American Demon, for making a movie out of it. There's finally, I think there's a decent script for it, but we'll see. It's an expensive movie to make, which I didn't think so. I'm thinking, well, what's so expensive about this? And they go, well, for one, it's a period piece. And I'm thinking, a period piece? What the fuck are you talking about? It's like, well, it was, a lot of it was filmed was written in the late 60s, 70s. So, and, there's a lot of outdoor stuff. And, as we just saw in, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or whatever, all the cars have to be legit. The house has got to be legit. The people got to look right. That's expensive shit, and right now I don't got 20 million to make a movie, but, but it is in the works. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. That'd be an awesome movie to see for sure.
Yeah. I look forward to it too, I think.
It's a wild ride of a book too so far. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think, it's funny. I was talking to my girl about that this morning. It's like, you really got to go into that book not expecting anything, because it's not your standard, rock bio or whatever the hell it is. It's like, it's fantasy, and there's, all sorts of weird stuff happening. And is this real? Is it not real? Sadly, more of it's real than isn't real, which is a little rough, And, but if you go into it as almost as a work of fiction, go into it as a work of fiction and just enjoy the story, I think you'll have a good time with it. like I said, sadly, more of it's true than not. It's it wasn't pleasant. So, and I didn't, it's funny when I wrote it, I didn't even want to, I didn't want to release it when I wrote it because I didn't want to hurt people again. It's like I didn't want to hurt somebody again. Like they were already hurt once. I don't want to hurt them with the story. I changed people's names. I did stuff, it's like, it's actually pretty funny. I had friends that were mad at me that I didn't use their real name. Like, why didn't you just say it was me? It's like, bitch, I'm trying to protect you, man.
Right? Oh, it's culpable.
Yeah. And no one, I'll tell you what there was part that's interesting. There's a part where this woman, it's a pretty gnarly scene in the book where, and it really shows you sexism and it basically in its true form. This college-age girl went to a party of little boys and basically slept with a bunch of us, one after the other. And, if it was a college-age guy rolling into a house of a bunch of 15-year-old girls and sleeping with all of them while they were drunk, there'd be a real issue there. And the fact that it's a woman that did it to these kids, people still, I've even had people say, you abused that woman. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? She's, this chick's, pushing 30, going to a party with a bunch of 15-year-old boys and sleeping with them. It's like, anyway, it's just
they know damn well what they're doing. So
she knew what she was doing. And if it was, if it was now and it came out, she'd be in jail for it. I mean, she would be in jail for it. So anyway.
Yeah, definitely a different time.
Yes.
Speaking of different time there, now, last year you released a single, Is It a Wonderful World?
Right.
Do you feel like that song is a little bit of a premonition of, things to come and how it is today?
Hey, you want to know what's a real weird premonition? Here, this is just a strange one. Whatever. Humans, what do they call it? It's called pareidolia, right? Pareidolia? Isn't that it? I think that's it. Somebody want to fact check me? It's where humans will look at something and they'll say, oh, that's the man in the moon. That face is the man in the moon. Look at those rabbits in the clouds. So we want to put a face or something recognizable to something. Pareidolia. Anyway, interesting movie. If you watch the movie Dave, of all things, Dave, it's with Kevin Kline.
I've actually just watched it the other night.
Okay. But check this out. Here's what's interesting. He's president number 45. He's president number 45, and he's being, they're talking about impeachment for God damn it, my mind's going, for all the same charges that Trump was impeached for. Yeah. So it's the same charges, talking about impeachment, President 45, and at the end of the movie, Dave's real name is Kovic, and they keep saying Kovic at the end of the fucking movie. So it's pretty trippy if you think about it. It's like President 45, impeachment, the way it's run, a big cover-up, and then they're saying COVID at the fucking end. It's like, hey, and let me tell you something. It's better than a couple of those Nostradamus quatrains, It's like wow. But if you ever watch it again, watch it again and trip on that. Obstructing justice, that's one of the ones, obstructing justice.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting that it's the same number, same charges, talking about impeachment, and at the end they're saying COVID, but it sounds like they're saying COVID. Yeah. So it's pretty weird, man. Pretty trippy. But of course, it's just my mind making shit up. So anyway.
So now,
do we want to talk about this single? And the single, the one, it's a wonderful life world, or what world? It's a wonderful world. It was just, a longtime friend of the band said, hey, when you're in there, why don't I'd love to hear you sing a version of this song, right? Just, why don't you sing it? Do it for me. I thought, okay, killer, right? So we just went in the studio and we were just going to do this thing with piano with me singing. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to rewrite all these words. I'm just going to rewrite them. And so I just really did a quick rewrite on all the lyrics. and then we just laid down a very simple version of it with a piano and some strings, a little guitar, very simple. And anyway, I like it. I like the way it came out. And, you know, some people listen to it and they don't even realize the lyrics have been changed. They just don't even, you know, they don't listen to the words. They don't know what, you know, it's like, oh, that's a great cover. It's like, would you listen to the words? What? Anyway.
Yeah, that's not quite a cover. It's close, but yeah. And I thought it was really interesting too. And we said it's talking about how, you know, bad everything is today and like the society and like that was just kind of interesting commentary, especially with how it is, you know, especially now with all the quarantines in place and everything, you know, people being, you know, acting out in panic, you know, not knowing what the hell's going to happen, you know.
Right. Yeah.
With their livelihood because they're going to be allowed to even do anything.
Yeah.
So, but now, speaking of doing shows here, you have a live show, or live stream show rather, coming up here next Sunday.
Yeah, I got cigar bits in my mouth.
No worries.
Yeah, we're gonna play live out of Las Vegas. You know, which is, and I think this is normally, you know, it's normally there's a bunch of shows in Vegas this time of this year. You know, but so we're gonna go there and we're gonna set up in our good friends club, and you know, they're gonna film the whole thing, and you know, with a bunch of different cameras and broadcast it live, and you know, fuck it, we'll just have some fun. Go and have some fun. So. It should be good, I guess. I don't know. So it's going to be strange playing in front of a nobody. Like, you know, like you're playing a live show, but you're in front of nobody. So it's make believe kind of a little bit. And so, you know, we'll see what happens. And, you know, we've been known sometimes to, you know, not, I mean, sometimes we're really good live. And other times it's like, let's just say that, you know, we've taken a lot of blows to the head, you know. So it's like, where am I? What's happening?
I think it all depends on your sound guy and everything else there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, should be fun though. I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be a good show. I'm looking forward to it.
No, it's free.
For it.
Yeah, and it's free. It's like, you know, it's like a free show. So what? Great, you know.
Nice. Well, is there anything else you want to share with your fans out there?
No. Well, I'm building my website. If anybody wants it, it's jackgrisham.com. And I'm just trying to build, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a website builder. You know what I mean? I got this thing and oh my God, you can hear I live on the ocean, so you can hear the police on the beach all day long, just going off on people. But anyway, so I just built it and I'm starting to put it together, and, you know, with books and, you know, like little things on there to go visit and see and whatever. And people can ask questions and send me messages. And so anyway, jackgrisham.com if you want to go look at that.
Excellent.
Whatever.
Perfect.
Anyway. All right.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And it was great talking with you.
Good talking to you also. Stay safe and have fun.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Yes, I say to myself, is this our wonder?